There we go. All right, now we're just gonna wait for our chat to come up here. Ah. Try again. Try again. There we go. I think it's working. We shall see. We shall see momentarily. Hey, Mr. Gore is here. So we know it's working. We have successfully proved that it's working. That's always good to know. Hey, Goliath Clerics in the house. What's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Dreams and Any. Hello, Bacon. We posted Bacon. Do you know? So, Dreams and Any. So I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this every other day fasting thing, eating thing. So there's like a day that I don't eat anything, and the next day I do eat. And today is a fasting day, so I have had nothing to eat all day. And you strolled in here nonchalantly and posted bacon. Like if I had like a weak constitution and I were some like wussy chump, I would be like, that's triggering, but I'm not. So I can smell bacon, I can look at bacon even when I'm fasting, and I would be totally fine because I'm not a wussy. I almost said a different word. I'm not a wuss, so I can take it. I can take it, man. I can take all the bacon you can throw at me. You could put a big plate of steaming pile of bacon right here in front of me, and I would be perfectly fine because I can do that. I would have murder in my eyes as I looked at you, but I could withstand it. I just think about tomorrow morning when I get up at 4 a.m. Then I'll get to eat something. No, it's not about the insulin response. It's about no calories. It's all about having 0 calories today, and then tomorrow I get to have like around 4,000 calories, and then it averages out to 2,000 calories a day basically. But you know, when you go an entire day fasting, there's a lot of other positive benefits. You trigger what do they call that? Autophagy. You trigger autophagy, where your body is basically recycling and destroying a bunch of garbage like in your body and like cleaning things out. You're triggering, I mean, your stomach is kind of shrinking down a little bit, you know, so maybe you don't eat as much, you know, tomorrow or something. And then I don't know if you slip into ketosis if you just fast for one day. I'm not sure if that triggers a ketosis state, but there's tons of benefits to fasting. It's like tons of research and studies and benefits and crap. So anyway, that's kind of what I do. And you know, the other thing is that for me personally, fasting for an entire day, like what is it, 36 hours, is not hard. You just drink a lot of coffee, a lot of tea, a lot of pop, and you don't feel that hungry. It's not that bad. And then you know too, psychologically, that tomorrow I get to eat some stuff, you know, and then you feel good. But I could probably just go full screen at this point. But the other way that I've been trying to lose weight, you know, because I'm too fluffy, far too fluffy, is by just restricting my calories every day, just eating 2,000 calories a day. And that is hard. Oh, that's so hard. It is easier for me to not eat an entire day and then the next day just kind of eat. Now, I don't want to say normally because I'm still very selective about like trying to eat as much good quality, healthy food as I can. On the days I do eat, I eat some garbage, you know, you do that. But, where was I going with that? Well, yeah, just eating 2,000 calories a day is brutal. Oh my gosh, it's really hard for me. But fasting and then eating, I can do that. I did all last week. I did it, no problem at all. And then this week, I was like, you know, this week, instead of just doing the every other day fasting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat 2,000 calories a day for this week. And we're just going to do that. That way we kind of switch it up, you know, keep it guessing type of thing. I got through Monday and I was like, I'm strong. Tuesday came along and I went over my 2,000 calories. I was around 2,600. I keep track of them all. And I was like, I blew that. And I was still hungry. On Tuesday, I was still hungry. I was like, oh, I'm dying. So Wednesday came and I was like, nope, we're going back to the every other day fasting thing. I got through an entire week, had no problems with it. And then I tried to stick to 2,000 and it's like just brutal. So we're not doing that anymore. So anyway, That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Bacon does have calories. It absolutely has calories. It's delicious. They're the most delicious calories you're ever going to have in your life, but they absolutely are calories. Yes, 100%. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're having a live stream. We're going to do Q&A and just talk about stuff. It'll be fun. And we have a giveaway going on in tonight's live stream. There should be a link in the chat or somewhere that you can click to join the giveaway. And we're giving away $50 in DM Lair store credit, where you can go get a whole bunch of cool stuff to use in your D&D and Pathfinder 2 games and other TTRPGs as well, because we have like map packs as well that can be used for pretty much anything. So the winner will be drawn at the end of the live stream, and you'll win $50 to use on our store and get some cool crap. So yeah, that's tonight. That's what we're planning on doing tonight. The rocket crotch is in the house. More calories is fine as long as you're doing the work to burn them off. The thing is that the human body is a super efficient machine, and it is like, I can go for an hour walk out in the snow and come back, and it's like, that's like 300 calories. It's like nothing. That's a Snickers bar, man. You know, that's like nothing. The human body is a super efficient machine, and there's an old adage, you know, you can't out exercise a bad diet, and it's so true. I was talking to my doctor, this was like a year plus ago, and I was telling her about all the exercise I was trying to do, and she looked at me and she says, you know, it's far easier to restrict what you put in than try to burn it off through exercise. And like, yeah, it's true. So anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a sponsor on tonight's live stream that you need to go check out. Let's hit this bad boy. A Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting. All right, so I backed this myself. You can actually see here, I'm a backer. I backed this the day it came out. You're gonna get 2 books with this sucker, and I'll tell you what the selling point for me was. The selling point for me on this Kickstarter, where is this? I mean, the artwork is amazing, but right here, the Cyborg Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think that was the selling point for me. When I saw that, I was like, dude, I need this. Now, this is being ran by my friend Daryl Jones. He has done other Kickstarters before. I trust that we're going to get this one. I literally have tokens from his last Kickstarter, which is about to fulfill. I got advanced copies of them because he's my friend, and he's like, Luke, I'm going to give you the tokens at Gen Con. I'm like, sweet. Now, what you're going to get with this Kickstarter in particular are 2 big, massive books. Now, this book right here, Dinosaur Hunting Bestiary, is going to have over 300 dinosaurs and prehistoric monsters, cyborg dinosaurs, mutant dinosaurs, alien dinosaurs, and eldritch horrors. So like, if you want to run like some dinosaurs and crap in your games, this is the book you want, because we know the 5e books, they don't have that many dinosaurs in them and stuff like that. And then this other book here, this big bad boy here, is going to have, and I'm assuming this is how he differentiated the two. You know, this is the bestiary with all the dinosaurs, and this has everything else in it. That one right there is going to have 12 adventures in it, playable dinosaur lineages. Can you imagine being like a T-Rex? I don't know if the T-Rex is a playable dinosaur, but if you could be a T-Rex, now, I don't know what that would look like. Because obviously being a T-Rex at level 1 would be like super powerful and stuff. But anyway, you got new classes. You have the Cyborg class, the Shard Mystic class, the Beastkin, dinosaur mounts, guns, high-tech and low-tech weapons, ancient... Oh, and there is time travel. Where is this thing? By the way, the artwork, holy freaking crap. Artwork. And by the way, Daryl Jones, he's an artist. He's like first and foremost an artist. So like, you can better believe the artwork in this book is going to be gorgeous. And I'm sure if I'm a betting man, I'm saying that he probably did all the artwork himself, or is going to do it himself. That'd be my guess, because he's a stinking artist. But I don't know. He might be paying other people to do some of it. I don't know offhand. No AI art. Absolutely can guarantee you that. There's no AI art in this book. No way, dude. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the time travel stuff. Interdimensional time travel. I don't know what the mechanic's going to be for that, but it sounds pretty cool. Anyway, head on over to this, the Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting, and back this sucker. Look, you already got like over 1,000 people backing it. This thing's closing in on $200,000. So, and like I said, this guy has a track record of like giving high quality crap to people. And so you can have a lot of confidence in this thing. And remember, I don't recommend Kickstarters that I Like, we do a very thorough vetting process on our Kickstarters, and I know him, and I have stuff from him before, so I know this guy's good to his word. Like, you can be pretty confident this guy's gonna fulfill that Kickstarter. So anyway, you can back with, in my opinion, you can back with confidence on this one. And I backed it too, so, and I want these books. Daryl's gonna get me an advanced copy of these books. Aren't you, Daryl? Aren't you, Daryl? All right, let's do the Q&A stuff. Show me your questions. The link is cut short. Really? Is the link being cut short so you can't actually click it? Is that a problem? It looks like it. All right, I will fix that. I made the little thingy too long. I'm fixing it right now. Stand by. I was trying to be all fancy. Like, I'm gonna do all this fancy stuff. And then it turns out the link's too long. Okay, moderators, repost the link, do Dino again, and it should work. And let's make sure that this is gonna work here. Post it.
Come on, moderators, post it. Why is it taking so long? What's wrong with you?
I'm like, my moderators are like, Luke, you don't pay us to take abuse from you on stream. We're out of here. Is it working now? I mean, let me double check it. Let me click it myself. It's working. Yay! Okay, there you go. It is working now. Please, if you want two big, huge books with dinosaur crap in them, go over there and hook yourself up. Mr. Gore, you can't ask bacon as a question. If you ask bacon as a question, I'm gonna like Google bacon. Well, this is our first question of the night, and Mr. Gore has asked bacon, so I'm gonna give you an answer. Stand by. Plate of bacon. Images. All right, Mr. Gore, I'm giving you your answer. This is your answer. You asked bacon. I'm giving you the answer. I think really what we have to do is pick the best plate of bacon. Now, ooh, this one actually looks really good. This one looks pretty good, but it looks like a really thin bacon. It looks like that cheap crap. You know when you go to a hotel and they give you, you know, if you go to like a Hampton Inn or like, you know, True or, you know, Holiday Inn, and they have bacon on their like free buffet. They give you that super thin, crazy thin bacon. That kind of looks like that. It looks like that super thin, cheap stuff. Now that looks like real bacon. That looks like thick sliced real bacon right there. I'm pretty confident. I feel like, open this in a new tab. Oven, well, show me the picture. Oh, there, that looks good. Oh, nice, that looks nice. That looks very nice. Lemon blossoms. All right, baby. That's a good plate of bacon right there, Mr. Gore. I'd go for that one. The free got breakfast. You like a BLT with no L and no T? Oh, Nat, what's up? No, the BLT is classic. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato. It's so good. You need nice, thick applewood smoked bacon. That is good. That is very good. My wife, you guys, my wife makes the best bacon. I don't know how she does it. She has a methodology. I asked her once to share it with me, and she practically ripped my head off. I almost got it. Because, like, she's got this secret, the bacon. She has the bacon secret, and it is so good. It is so good. I don't know what she does. She banishes me from the kitchen when she makes bacon. Partially because I'm going to eat it out of the pan before it's actually done. Squeaky's come. Squeaky. Come on, you going to get up here, you big baby? Let's go. All right, my co-streamer has arrived. Get up here, you turd. Look at that fluffy bucket. Oh, yeah. This guy's a bad kitty. He's a bad kitty. He does bad kitty stuff, but he's adorable, so we tolerate him. Chewy bacon? Oh yeah, chewy bacon. Yeah, you know what? You have crispy bacon, then chewy bacon. I mean, they're both good, but I think I probably like the crispy one better. I would go crispy. All right, here's a question. The Nuevo DM. Nuevo. ¿Quién es un huevo? Huevo nuevo. Cocido. Okay, sorry. I'm just messing around with you. What are some necessary things to go over when returning to a game after a long hiatus? Oh my word. Okay, so assuming that you and your players have taken a long break and that you're coming back, and what do you got to go over? Well, I think the first thing is what the heck is even happening? What is going on? And I would almost like, if I were coming back after a long break, I'd probably ask my players, and this might be before the game session, hey, do you guys want to pick up where we left off? Or are you interested in just starting something fresh, right? Because they might like not, and then they might want to do something different, new characters or a new campaign or a new adventure. I think that's something that I would consider as well. But other than that, I think it's really just getting either you're starting from scratch or you're gonna like get everybody caught up to speed on what was happening, remind them of things. They got to learn they got to remember what their characters can do and all that kind of stuff. You might even do just a short little like mini adventure at the very beginning of it so that everybody can get back into the swing of things and how to run their character and what their crap does, especially if you were like higher level and you have a whole bunch of other character abilities and spells and stuff that you can use. Then you definitely probably want to like maybe have a little introductory like mini adventure to get back in the swing of things. But I almost feel like personally, if I had a long break, I personally as a game master would probably want to start something new as opposed to picking up my whatever we left off with, because whatever you left off, I don't know. I mean, this is just me spitballing here. But if you guys took a big, huge break and there was a hiatus, then in theory, and this is like a general comment, not you, I don't know your particular situation, but as a general comment, like if there was a long break, then you, to a certain extent, it's possible that what you were doing wasn't compelling enough to get everybody together at the game table, right? And so the break happened. And so it is worth considering whether you should possibly do something different that is more compelling, more interesting, and that will guarantee that folks stay around longer, or that there isn't a big break or something. But the break could have been caused by something else. That's fair. The other thing I would consider too is that if you have if you can see a pattern and a habit in your gaming group of big breaks or extended breaks, you know, like a couple months go by and stuff before you can get together again, or you'll play hardcore for like 3 months and then a break happens, you might consider not running a big formal long campaign, but doing like little adventure arcs, like maybe 3 adventures and that's it, you know, and then a little break can happen. Or you just do like little one-shot adventures that are unrelated to an overarching campaign. And the reason I'm suggesting that if breaks happen with frequency is that way there's no like coming back, like, oh my gosh, what was happening? If everything is a disjointed, unrelated adventure, you know, then there's no worrying about what happened before, because it's just like, oh, we're just starting over fresh again, you know, with probably the same characters. So anyway, my suggestion, bacon flavored ice cream. Oh, that'd be very nice. Squeaky. Are you gonna let me drink my coffee? No. I still have on the other screen the big thing of bacon. It's staring at me right now. It's just staring at me. It's beautiful. Squeaky's looking at it now too. All right. More questions. Question: what 5 Greek gods and goddesses would be the best to use for a murder mystery campaign, and what classes would they be? Oh my gosh, I don't even know the Greek gods and goddesses that well. All right. I'm gonna give you an answer though. I'm gonna give you an answer with the help of like ChatGPT, I suppose, because I know nothing about Greek goddesses. Hey, you want to stop? What are you doing over here? Okay, he's rubbing against the camera. I thought he was doing something different. Can I copy this? Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm gonna give you a ChatGPT answer because I don't know it. I don't know if Greek goddess is enough. Okay, murder mystery. Okay, Hades is the god of the underworld. Athena is the god of wisdom and strategy. Ooh, okay. Apollo is the god of prophecy, healing, and the arts. Eris is the god of discord. Hermes is the god of thieves. Ooh, thieves could be cool. Interesting. So what I would do though is, what was the rest of the question? Where was this question? Oh, there we go. Yeah. A murder mystery campaign. So if you're gonna take those gods, I would try to think about in your campaign, like, what are their goals? What are their objectives? Now, traditionally, my understanding is that in Greek mythology, the different deities were often at odds with each other in some ways, or they were at least competing with each other at the very least. They had their own agendas, the things they were trying to achieve. So I would consider how that plays into your campaign and what exactly is going on. Like, in what way is Apollo and Athena at odds, and what are their competing agendas, and how is Hermes involved? Hermes is also the god of, he's like a messenger god too. And then Hades, what is Hades' stake in it, you know? And so I would think about those things as well, and how those play in, because you could almost have like once you involve like deities at this level, this almost turns into a little bit of a political intrigue thing, because you have politics and priorities and goals and stuff going on here with the deities and stuff. So I would think about that sort of stuff, you know, and how you can incorporate that. And it might just be at a high level, you know, something that's going on in the background. It kind of influences the players in their campaign a little bit, but it might not be, especially if they don't like politics and all that kind of stuff, then you don't want it to have to be a heavy influence, but have it certainly be a presence, you know, there. The Pizzo said, I just rolled a nat 20. Please pet his head. I'm giving him a good fluff. He's getting attention. All right, there we go. Oh, there we go. Kami says, I'm a new DM. I DM'd a Morkborg session and that went well. I'm considering running a D&D session next or a Savage Worlds next. Any suggestions? I only fear D&D because of repetitive meta builds. Yeah, don't bite my camera. Don't bite it. You bite yourself. Don't bite my watch. Why are you biting electronics? He's not answering me. He's ignoring me. Oh, well, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, that is the problem with D&D 5th edition in general, is like the big power builds and stuff, and the broken stuff that is out there and that will continue to be discovered probably and whatnot. Now, I don't know if I don't know how Savage Worlds stacks up with that, to be honest. I have Savage Worlds books right over there. I started to read through them a little bit and then got distracted by other things. Mostly I'm afraid I'm gonna really like it, and then I'm gonna want to play a Savage Worlds campaign, and then I'm gonna have less time on my hands. So there's part of me that's like, Luke, the more you read this, the more you're probably gonna want to try it, because I'm already in like 4 games. I'm in too many games. That's all there is to it. So Savage Worlds, I think, sounded interesting to me. I played a one shot of Savage Worlds. It was a superhero edition of it. I liked it. I thought it was cool. But I don't remember enough about it, honestly, to like give you a good analysis between 5th edition D&D and Savage Worlds. But I don't know. Jeez, it's hard to say. I don't want to guide you the wrong way, but if I had to pick one to just give you like a recommendation, I almost would try Savage Worlds just to see what it's like, because we all know what D&D 5th edition is like, right? So why not try something different like Savage Worlds and give it a shot? You might like it. So that's kind of what I'm gonna say, but you know, massive big grain of salt because of everything I just prefaced my answer with. All right, keep the questions coming. If I missed a question, you can repost it because I may have missed it. Uh-oh, I think my dog is coming down here. Doggy? Doggy? Nope, that was not the doggy. That was the wifey. I thought my dog was coming downstairs. Okay, here's a question. So one of the things I do too, guys, is that there is, I usually put in all my videos and all the descriptions, there is actually a form where you can submit your own questions. So let's pretend that you're catching this live stream after it's over and you want to ask me your own questions. You can put your question in that form, and I usually go through that form at least once every live stream and I answer the questions that people put in that form. Or if you asked the question in this live stream and I ignored you because I'm a jerk, you can put it in that form too. And then I'll try to get to it next time. So I think this actually came from the last live stream and they put it in the form because I didn't answer it. This is from Anna Lee D. The question is, suggestions to add some salty flavor during a high seas adventure for my PCs. I do not want to skip over travel. I would like to incorporate some fun and interest, but I am having a bit of writer's block for in between battles and destinations while on the water. So what I can say about that, my recommendation is I like to think about, okay, so yeah, let's pretend that they're sailing from this port over to an island, and the island is where the adventure takes place, right? And they're going to be sailing in between. So what you really want is you want events and points of interest. I think those are the two things. So events are things that are going to happen to them that they're going to happen regardless. It's kind of out of their control. What is it within their player's control is their reaction to the events, what they actually do. And then the next thing you're going to have are points of interest. Now the points of interest are usually static things that they'll maybe notice and see, and then they can decide whether they want to explore it or ignore it. You want to brainstorm different events and different points of interest that you can have while they're traveling from the port to the island. So a point of interest is a sunken ship hull. Like you might describe as they're traveling over the ocean, or maybe they're along the coast, that all of a sudden the sea below them is crystal clear and the light shines in just the right way, and you can see all the way down to the bottom, and there is a sunken hull of what looks like a merchant vessel down at the bottom, and it's flying a flag, or a flag at least is kind of like in the water. It's faded, but it looks like one of the rich southern nations. All right, so there you go. You just described a point of interest. Now the players are going to be like, ooh, a sunken merchant ship. Do we try to go down there and see if there's anything in there, right? And they might try to do that, dive down and stuff. And of course, you're probably going to have some sort of monster or something down there, something add a little excitement to it, like challenge, you know. And then that's the point of interest. And you can think of other points of interest that might happen along the way. And it is challenging. Granted, it's challenging because you're on an open ocean, and oceans are defined in part by emptiness, right? So points of interest are like something below the water, or maybe a little island or something, right? Events. Obviously, things that attack you, a sea monster could attack you. Sawagan could come up from below and scale the sides of your ship, right? You could have, as an event, you could have a storm come. You know, there could be a whirlpool, a massive whirlpool over here. So, but those are some examples, but that's what you want to do to reinforce this idea of being, or pirates could attack, right? Reinforce this idea. And granted, it's going to be a little more challenging perhaps than like if you're on land, because the ocean tends to be empty and stuff, right? Except the islands and stuff below it and whatnot. But that's what you do. Events and points of interest. As the players travel, they can come across those things. Just remember, you don't want to have tons of them, because we all kind of know that the most interesting stuff happens when we get to our destination, and that everything in between is kind of just an obstacle or a sidetrack deviation thing. So you want to include them to add spice and make the world feel alive, but you go too far, too overboard, and then they start to feel like they're wasting their time in a way. They might, because they really just want to get to the destination where the actual like adventure and quest is that they have to accomplish. So there you go. Things to consider about that. Squeaky must have seen Terminator recently. Now he has a fear of technology. Yes. Ugh, Squeaky bites everything. He's a jerk. Quest, pet the cat. Objective, pet the cat. Reward, pet the cat. That seems... I mean, I do like petting him, but... I've been DMing for just over a year now. Last session, one of my players had to cancel. Now I'm certain they all hate me and my story. How do I fix this? Why? Why do you think they hate your story, Jordan? What? I mean, players cancel all the time. It happens all the time. What other evidence? If you don't have any other evidence that your players hate your story, okay, then you just got some psychological horse crap going on up here that's telling you little lies, right? And you just need to banish them and forget them and ignore them. Because if you don't have any more evidence, then like I literally this morning, I am in a D&D 5th edition game on Tuesdays. And I literally this morning told my dungeon master that I'm not going to be there next week. I literally canceled for next week. Why? Because my wife and I are going on a little trip. So it's not because I wasn't having fun or I didn't want to be in the game. It's because I had crap to do. My wife wants to go have fun. And if I tell her no, I'm in trouble. So people are going to miss. Your players are going to skip sessions. They're just not going to be there. Things are going to come up. They're going to cancel. That's life. That is how things work in the real world. And if you start to like analyze and overanalyze and second guess and like dig into every little time that happens, then you are going to psychologically and mentally eat yourself alive. You're going to be a little husk in the corner. Just, do they like me? Do they like me? Do they like? You're just going to lose it, man. You're going to lose it. You're going to be rocking back and forth in a fetal position. Dude, you can't live like that. You cannot overanalyze stuff. If somebody misses a game session every so often, you just brush it off and you say, whatever, they have lives. That's what you got to do. If that's all the evidence you have, otherwise you're gonna drive yourself insane. You can't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You can't overanalyze that. Like, you know, it's like, man, it's like you go on a date and then like, you know, like they don't call you back or something the next day, and it's like, oh my gosh, they didn't call me back. Oh my gosh, they didn't call me back. It's like, dude, man, maybe they just giving you some space. They'll call you tomorrow or something. Calm down. So I would not worry too much about it unless you have other corroborating evidence that leads you to suggest they don't like it. Now that said, in my opinion, the number one indicator that your players don't like your game is that they keep leaving. So if you do have high turnover and you're constantly churning through players, well then that is an indicator that they don't like your game. So, I mean, I'm trying to reassure you, but then there is the counterpoint, because it is true. When people leave your game because they don't like it, they're not going to tell you they don't like the game. They're going to make up some polite excuse that's socially acceptable, right? So just, if you have high turnover and people are literally leaving your game, like, I quit the game, I'm gone, you know, then that's something to think about. But when somebody just misses game session, nah, dude, don't worry about it. You just got to forget that crap, man, or you're going to drive yourself nuts. Okay. Okay. Well, here's a question from our forum. Luke, what are your thoughts on the 2 D&D related channels that finished up at the weekend? How to be a great GM and Man Shorts. How is your channel doing on top of the publishing side? So I already made a video where I addressed that, I think. And I think I said everything pretty well in that video. I don't know that I want to necessarily reiterate it right now. I think the bottom line is that I think what I came to in that video is that unfortunately most of us YouTuber people have shelf lives, and our channels aren't going to last forever. Mine's not going to last forever. Theirs obviously didn't last forever. Nobody's is going to last forever. Everybody's channel ends at one point or another. Almost everybody. I'm sure there's some people that have been around, like OG, and they're still going strong, and they're getting lots of views, and their channel's not dead. But most channels have a shelf life. And so I think that it underscores the importance of us of innovating and trying new things and doing things that are different and not relying on the same stuff we were doing 5 years ago or 10 years ago, because that stuff might not work anymore. So we have to ask ourselves, are we improving at thumbnails? Are we getting better at thumbnails? Are we doing the same exact thing I was doing 5 years ago? What about titles? Am I working on titles? What about my actual camera presence? Like, am I the same? Like, am I just as bad as I was 5 years ago at camera? Like, talking to the camera? Am I just sitting there droning on a monotonous voice that puts you all to sleep? Or am I trying to do something that's gonna make my videos more engaging and exciting to you? How about B-roll and crap like that? I mean, there's so many different ways to make videos, that are engaging to people. And the thing is that the competition is fierce. There's so many people that are coming out. There are new D&D YouTubers that I look at their stuff and I'm just like, this guy's really good. His videos, like, his video production is way better than mine. Like, the way he does his like, everything is just like, woo, this guy's good. you know? So like the competition's out there, so you got to constantly be upping your game. I think the other thing too is that like as YouTubers, like we can't live with our heads in the freaking sand, you know? Like if you can see that your channel's declining, that things aren't working, you can't just double down and do the exact same thing that you've always been doing and expect different results. That's the definition of insanity. And that's kind of like a quote that's usually attributed to Albert Einstein, but there's no actual evidence that is actually what he said. But yeah, if you can see that your video views are going down and that you're doing skits or talking head videos or whatever the content you do, and you can see your video views are going down, then dude, you gotta do something about that. Like you gotta try new stuff, and if the new stuff doesn't work, try something else. You know, and if especially if you're full-time doing YouTube videos and you're only relying on your AdSense revenue, that's bonkers. Oh my gosh, I could not live like that. You have to diversify your income streams, whether you're doing Kickstarters, whether you have products, whether you are running games that are paid or whatever it is, you got to diversify, or you got to have a full-time job. So like, but if you're full-time and that's your entire revenue and you can see it slowly going down like this, you cannot wait until you can't pay your bills to get a new job or to figure something out and then basically have to get on your knees before your viewers or something and ask them for money. You can't do that, man. You gotta take corrective actions like way before them. So like, yeah, it's just kind of like you see people that like, you know, they have to end their channels and they've offered amazing things to the community, game master advice or funny skits and stuff, and they've just done amazing things, you know. And when they end their channels, it just kind of reminds us, right, that like, dang, man, you know, we have to be vigilant and we have to be careful and not stop innovating and trying to improve what we're doing. Otherwise, you know, our shelf life is going to be reduced, you know, than what it already is. So I don't know. Those are like my thoughts on it. And I did a video talking about it in crap too, but I just kind of said everything again because I guess I just have a big mouth and I like hearing myself talk. I don't know. All right. Oh, how's my channel doing? It's not. It's the views are down. You know, it's the views are down. I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. I've been trying now just from like a business standpoint to like decouple myself a little bit from just how is the channel doing. Like if the YouTube channel is always the primary thing that's driving the other elements of my business, then that is a weak link right there. And so I'm trying to decouple myself from that. I'm working right now on getting set up with Amazon so we can try to get some stuff over there and have some higher volume on sales. I'm working on getting set up with a consolidator so that we can start getting stuff in like bookstores and stuff so that my products can be elsewhere. So I'm working now to decouple the business from just my YouTube channel, you know. So and this is like I said, this is the type of thing you do when you can see writing on the wall of that doesn't look good. Like if I just sit there and just hope and pray and do nothing and then everything crashes and burns, like dude, man, this is my full-time gig. You know, I got a wife and stuff and I got 8 cats and a dog to feed. I can't just sit there and do nothing. So yeah. Something is wrong with the algorithm because your videos aren't showing up on my feed. Nah, I don't think it's the algorithm. It's just, you know, my videos, they don't appeal to a whole lot of people. Like if my videos don't get reach, I don't blame the algorithm. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I didn't get any views on my video. It's the algorithm. There's somebody that pretty much every year puts out a video where he blames the algorithm and he's like, oh, look at these, look at this, the algorithm's not giving me reach. Every single year, pretty much, he puts out a video where he blames the algorithm. It's like almost like clockwork. And it's like, I'm not gonna personally blame the algorithm if my videos aren't getting viewed. All right, the algorithm is just a bunch of crap that the goal is to try to put content in front of people who want to watch it. And so if my content is highly watchable and people want to watch it, the algorithm's gonna it's in YouTube's best interest for people to watch crap and stay on their platform. And so they're gonna try to put stuff in front of people that keeps them on their platform. So I'm not gonna blame the algorithm because like my stuff's not getting recommended. My stuff's not getting recommended because, you know, I'm gonna take responsibility first and foremost myself. Like if I'm getting low video views, then that's on me. I need to do better. And I think that's the responsible thing to do. It is worthless. There is no point. It is completely counterproductive and does not help me one bit if I blame the algorithm or if I blame this, that, or the other. Like I have to do what I have to do. You know, I have to learn and get better, you know, or make better thumbnails or make spicier content or something. You know, it's like, I can't just sit here. It doesn't help me. It's not productive to blame the algorithm. Woe is me, the algorithm. It's like, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me, man. It might help me cope. Maybe somehow makes me feel better to blame the algorithm or blame YouTube because crap isn't working. But that doesn't help me, man. That does not help me get to where I want to be at all. It's not productive. And so letting my brain go there is stupid. I need to like do crap. I need to do crap. That's how I like to think. I take ownership and I like to get crap done. And then if things aren't working, you try something else and you pivot. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to work on that, you know, and I'm not the best dude, the YouTuber guy, and I'm bad at thumbnails. I think I'm bad at titles and crap, but I'm going to keep working at it. I'm going to keep trying to do my best, you know, but blaming other people and blaming the algorithm's not going to help anybody, man. And that is a fool's errand. That is losers blame others. Winners take responsibility and do what they got to do to get crap done, as long as it lies within the realm of what's ethically and morally correct, right? You don't want to like do bad stuff to get where you want to be. That's not, I don't believe in that, right? Anyway, there's my little rant for you. Blaming others is how you get to be a flat earther. Rocket crotch, getting spicy. I don't know why blaming others is why you get to be a flat earther. I don't understand why. It's like nobody has traveled on a plane across the world, around the globe and stuff, so we think the earth is flat. It's like, oh my goodness, man. And what happens to all the water? It just like falls off the edge. Ooh. Are we on the back of a turtle? Can we agree that we're on the back of a turtle? We're on the back of our world, on the back of a turtle that's flying through space. Can we agree to that? Okay, I see some questions up here. Daniel McGuffey, question: how do I politely ask someone to contribute to snacks, especially because he eats a lot? Well, here's the thing, man. Is that a battle you really want to fight? Is that a battle you really want to fight? It might be. It might be. I'm not gonna fight that battle. I'm not. You know, I'm just gonna like, whatever, man. Like I host our games here that we play at that table behind me. And I always buy pizza for everybody. I always buy pizza, and there's usually candy over there as well. And many times I have a beer in the fridge, and they're welcome to help themselves to the beer. And I just provide all that stuff for my players. I don't think that I should. It's not that I think that the game master should do that or needs to do that. I do it because I'm in a financial position where I can. And I'm just being a host, come over, have some pizza, play a game, have fun, you know? And now I think for most games, it's completely reasonable to expect everyone to chip in, you know? And for years, when we didn't play at my place, when we played somewhere else, we all chipped in for the pizza that we got. And so I think that's perfectly reasonable that everybody chips in and pays their fair share. I think that's a reasonable thing, absolutely reasonable. So I'm not saying it's not, you know? I do something a little different just because I can, you know, and I like doing it. I like being able to do that, you know? But I would ask yourself, do you really want to fight that battle with the player who like eats too much and doesn't contribute to snacks? I don't know, man. And how do you do it politely? I don't think there's a polite way to do that. You're either gonna rip that band-aid off and get it over with and then see what happens. Like, is he gonna be really upset? Is he just gonna leave the game? Is he gonna be pissed? You know, like, and also I think that, so like, or he's gonna be like, yeah, you're right, I should. It depends on who he is. If he's a humble dude, you know, and you point out something to him and you be like, hey dude, you know, everybody kind of contributes to the food around here and you kind of don't, you know, or like, look dude, look man, you brought like a couple cookies and you're eating everybody else's food. If you brought more, you know, to kind of like contribute more, I think that would be a cool thing to do. Like, I don't know how to have that conversation, to be honest with you, because that's really awkward and hard. It almost feels like it's easier to ask somebody to leave the game or tell them that they're doing something bad and hurting everybody, than saying, dude, you eat way too much, you don't contribute enough. But I guess you could say, hey, it really seems like everybody's kind of bringing food to contribute, but you're not really bringing your fair share. If you could bring some more, that would be awesome. But the other thing to consider too is, like, what's this dude's financial situation? Like, where's he at financially? Because some people are broke. Some people are broke and just don't have money to bring. Like, I did not used to have money, man. I used to be dirt broke, dirt broke, dirt. And so, like, I can totally get, like, somebody doesn't have $5 to buy a thing of cookies. Like, it's hard, man. And they play. One of the reasons they play D&D or TTRPGs is that it's a cheap hobby. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to. A lot of us do, and we have bookcases full of junk that we almost never use, but you don't have to. So I don't know. I would think about some of that stuff. I don't think I have a good answer for you. That's kind of rough. All right, Copper 96. You missed everything. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, go check out our Kickstarter. So this is the sponsor of tonight's live stream, A Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting. You got to go check this thing out. This thing has 2 big, fat, massive books stuffed with everything dinosaurs. This book right here, Dinosaur Hunting Bestiary, over 300 dinosaurs, cyborg dinosaurs, mutant dinosaurs. This book right here, this one here, 12 adventures, new classes, the cyborg, shard mystic, beastkin, playable dinosaur lineages. I want to be a T-Rex. Speaking of T-Rexes, where is that thing? Right there. The cyborg T-Rex. Check that bad boy out. That is stinking sweet. Actually, I backed this. You can see that I backed this. It's at the top. It tells you I backed it. And this is by my friend. My friend Daryl Jones made this. He's an amazing artist. Crazy good artist. I mean, look at the artwork on the page. He made this himself, I'm sure, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So, but anyway, this right here, this is probably the reason I backed this cyborg T-Rex. That is so stinking cool. And then you got minis and a bunch of other cool crap on here, and then just, oh yeah, time travel. There's some sort of time travel mechanic in here. Anytime, any world. Like, what the heck is that? I don't know what that is, but that sounds interesting. So anyway, I backed this. I'm going to have these 2 books on my shelf, and I'll probably have some nice dinosaurs. I'm actually running a campaign in Eberron right now, and there is a part of that world of Corvair. I think it's called the Talentia Plains or something like that is literally filled with dinosaurs. And my players are nearby. They're in the Marar Holes, which is just across the mountain range from the plains where all the dinosaurs and halflings live. And so, like, these books would be freaking awesome for that game right there. So anyway, go over there, check this out, back this thing, get some cool crap you can use in your games. This page just keeps going. Look at all this artwork. Dinosaur artwork, and then you got layouts of the books and stuff. More dinosaurs. Dude. Oh, look at this. Acrylic tokens, too. You can get acrylic tokens of the dinosaurs. By the way, I have some of these acrylic tokens. These are the acrylic tokens from his last Kickstarter. It's in the process of being fulfilled. I have advanced copies because, as I said, he's my friend, and so I have these beautiful, gorgeous acrylic tokens, and they look like they're either 2mm acrylics or 3mm. I don't know what they are, but they are super sturdy. Super hardcore sturdy. This is the gelatinous cube one right here. Anyway, I use these acrylic minis when I go to, like, conventions and stuff, and I run games at conventions. They're super cool. I only pull the ones out that I actually use because I don't have the binders yet. I'm still waiting to get the binders to be able to store these, and I'll get those when the Kickstarter officially fulfills. But I have advanced copies of the minis because Daryl's my friend. But anyway, go check this thing out. This is super cool. Looks like you can get the stinking miniatures, the little acrylic tokens as well, and dice. That is nice. UV light dice. What the heck? Do people play under UV lights? Is that a thing? Anyway, that looks super cool. Link in the description, link down in the chat. Go check this thing out. 2 big fat beefy books filled with dinosaurs and other cool crap. I think this is going to be super cool, which is why I backed it. Can we play as a mecha T-Rex? Oh, dude, that would be cool. I don't know. Ask Daryl. Daryl, are you here? He's probably not here. He's probably managing his Kickstarter, but you might be able to ask him in the comments. Go to the Kickstarter page and ask him in the comments. I think you have to back it. You have to back it first, but you can just put down a $1 pledge, and then ask in the comments. I think you have to be a backer to actually post a comment, but you can put down a $1 pledge, post in the comment, and be like, Daryl, is this a possibility? And he'll probably let you know, and then you can go from there. Ever look at tungsten dice? No, I haven't. They're way more expensive than I can afford. Really? Donner says, good evening, Mr. Streamer. I am Mr. Streamer. I agree bacon is the best. Have you ever created your own custom class in your campaigns? No, I don't do that. I don't create player stuff, custom classes and subclasses and stuff. I don't mess around with that stuff. I feel like to a large extent there are already so many classes and subclasses out there that it's like, what do you really need? Like, what can you possibly imagine that doesn't already exist, or something close enough that you can basically reskin and add a little flavor to and then be the thing that you want to do? So I've never done that. And also, I'm not usually a player, so I don't tend to care about player stuff quite that much, especially not enough to make an entire class. Oh, heavens, no. No, I'm a game master first and foremost, so I create custom monsters, of course. I create my own adventures, I create my own traps and puzzles and everything else. But that's because I'm the game master, and those are the things that I'm like, you know, but I don't create classes. And you need to do some extensive play testing on a class also. A class would need some play testing. Yeah. All right. All right, looking for questions. Feel free to drop your questions. If I missed it, I'm gonna go back in time here and see if I can find something. Question: with D&D still being the primary TTRPG, has interest definitely shifted to 2024, or is 2014 still solvent as a system? I have no idea. That's a great question. I think you need to we would need to do some polls and stuff, but even if I did a poll on my YouTube community tab, that would not be it would only be asking a subset of the wider D&D community. You know, it would just be people on my channel. And I have a feeling that the viewers on my channel are probably going to be predisposed towards sticking with 2014. It's like a gut feeling I have for reasons. So that would be a biased and unreliable poll. You'd have to ask the wider D&D community outside of even YouTube, right? To see what people are thinking, you know, and whether they're going to stick with 2014 or whether they go with 2024. Yeah. I mean, I think the long form tail of it is probably going to be, you know, there's going to be people that stick with 2014, right? And that might be all they ever play, you know, but there are going to be groups that switch over to 2024. And then people that are new coming into the hobby and grabbing books for the first time, they're going to get to 2024. So the thing too is that the difference between 2014 and 2024 is small enough that you're probably not going to have something happen like happened with 4th edition, that it just totally bombed and nobody wanted it, right? And so you're not going to I don't think you're going to see a phenomenon like that happening. So I think the long form tail of it is that more than likely 2014 players are just going to kind of maybe go down and then probably flatline a little bit and then just slowly decrease maybe. Whereas 2024, you're probably going to have, probably have a spike, you know, and then there'll be a slow, gentle curve, you know, as it approaches an asymptote up here or something. I think that's my guess, just, you know, just kind of Luke, what do you think? You know, not industry expert, right? What do you think is probably going to happen? That would be my guess. Have you ever just ended a campaign because of one player after the very first session? No, I have asked players to leave. They haven't gotten invited back after one session. That's happened before. I think it's silly to stop an entire campaign because of one player. We got 5 players, but everybody just loses because one person's a turd? No, man. You kick that guy out. Why would I stop the whole thing? Why would I stop the whole thing? Oh, he's a friend. I don't care. If he's being a turd, he's not in my game. And that ruins the friendship. Okay. Sorry. You can't like be a man and like not be a turd in the games or something. But yeah, I'm not gonna. And I think that's probably the main reason that somebody would probably consider ending the whole campaign because of one player, because they're a friend and they don't want to hurt their feelings or they don't want to compromise the friendship. And I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna kick the guy out. I'm gonna say, hey, dude, this isn't working, man. You're not fitting in. You're not gonna be able to play anymore. What do you mean, man? Dude, that's just. And then I'm sure it'll be a thing. I'm sure it will. But I am not going to cancel the whole campaign when I have a bunch of good players and one person being a turd. That is just. That's not right, man. That's not right. And if I lose a friend over it, well, then I guess that friendship wasn't very strong and he wasn't very mature. And I mean, obviously you got to approach it in a mature way too. You can't just be like, dude, you suck, you're out of the campaign. You got to be nice. You got to be like, adult about it. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I didn't finish your question. DM told me this 6 months after he ended the campaign abruptly for other reasons. Feels bad. Oh, so the Game Master did that to you, Austin. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the Game Master didn't have, los cojones to like actually do what he should have done. He basically, there was a player who was disruptive or causing a problem or something. And he instead of getting that player out of the group, he just ended the group, and then you lost out on a game. And I'm assuming it made you feel bad. I'm assuming you liked the game, or you saw that it had promise or something. So yeah, it's trashy. That's a bad thing to do. I would not do that, because like now you had like 4 whatever other people that just missed out on a game because of one person, because the game master didn't have the fortitude to do what he should have done. Yeah, it's not right. Oh, Ronnie, dude, you're cool, man. No, I wasn't like, my whole little rant about YouTube algorithm and thumbnails and crap had nothing to do with what you said, man. It was just like, there's other stuff going on in the sense that like people end their channels and blame the algorithm, and it gets me going, man. It gets me going. So like, don't feel bad, dude. You're good, man. You're good. How do you make a great puzzle? You sit in your chair and you think, and you think, and you think, and you throw ideas. You throw inputs at ChatGPT and see what it spits out at you. Most of it's garbage. And then maybe something kind of makes a little bit of sense, and then you think some more and you brainstorm, and it is a brutal process making a puzzle. And I hate it. And every time I have to do it, because players sometimes want puzzles in the game, which doesn't make any sense, because I don't think puzzles make any sense in a game, in a world. Like if you got enough resources to create a puzzle, then you could have come up with something better to protect your treasure, or to protect your dungeon, or to protect whatever. Like a puzzle that a few people can figure out in a half an hour, that is a bad mechanism to protect anything. Let's be honest here, right? And if you, and creating a puzzle and actually not even just thinking about it, but if you had to implement it in an actual dungeon, right? Like that's a crazy amount of resources. Why would you do that? So puzzles have always seemed very illogical in the sense that they're not realistic, So puzzles really exist as a game element. You put it in the game because some players like solving puzzles, but they never make sense in the context of the actual real world, which is fair, because there's a lot of things that are just game elements that don't make sense in the real world, and that aren't realistic. And that's fair. We have to accept a certain amount of unrealism in our games. Otherwise, it would just be like a flight simulation. Like, Or it'd be like playing a NASCAR game where you're literally driving around in a circle for 2 hours. And you're like, it's like, I played a NASCAR game when I was like in high school. It was the most boring game in the world. And no, I don't even know if it was boring because like I would always crash my car after one lap. And I think you had to go like 200 laps and I would crash after one. And I'm like, this game, man, I'm not good at this. So that never worked for me. I lost the question. I don't know what I was talking about. Sorry. Okay, throw questions. If I missed you, you can retype it. Elam says, is it okay to write a 1,500 words for a character background with his little travels before the campaign and some lore of his world, or is it too much? So this has always been my stance on players that want to write big, long backstories. A backstory for your character serves two purposes. One, it is to help you roleplay your character. Two, it is to help the game master when he wants to put things in his campaign, in his adventures, in his world that have to do with your backstory. Little hooks, little things here, that will draw your character in, like, oh, and I'm gonna give you some like cliched examples that you probably shouldn't use, but oh no, like your long lost sister, like you found a letter indicating where she might actually be. Oh, let's go find her. Like they'll pull things from your backstory. So your backstory serves two purposes. One, it's for you. Two, it's for your game master. So I say this. If you need 1,500 words for a backstory to help you roleplay your character, write it. If you need 1,500 pages, write it. Write that bad boy out. You have fun with that, all right? But then give your game master the courtesy of a summary. At most, a one-page summary. If you can fit it into a couple paragraphs, that's cool too. I'm perfectly fine with one page. I can read a page of backstory. Not a problem. If you start giving me 5 pages or 10 pages or 20 pages, I can guarantee you that I'm not going to read it. What I would probably do these days is I would take your backstory of 20 pages, I would dump it into ChatGPT, and I would tell it to give me a summary, and then it would summarize it for me, and then I would read that. So do your dungeon master the courtesy of giving them a summary. You write what you need to write for your purposes and then give your dungeon master a summary so that they can have what they need for their purposes. And I would still send them the entire big thing in addition to the summary. That way, if they want to read it, they could, but then they get the summary. And I think that is the best way to do it. And because it's respectful of your dungeon master's time, because they got a lot of stuff to do, So I would do that. If you really want to write a whole bunch, because then everybody wins. You get what you want, they get what they want. We're all happy. Oh yeah? What do we got going on? Oh, Squeaky's back. Come on, Squeaky. Squeaky. You gonna come up here or not? He's just staring at me. No? Sometimes if I lean back, he'll jump up here. Yeah? Come on. Get up here. I have to like assume the position for him to come up here. Come on. I know. Get up here. Oh, don't complain at me. You're a baby. I don't know what his problem is. Let's go to the spreadsheet. Drop more questions. I'm gonna go to the spreadsheet. I'm gonna pull stuff out of the spreadsheet. Oh, look at that was Elam. You asked that question and put it. It looks like you put it into the spreadsheet last time. Cool. Well, I just answered it. There we go. I got that done. I'm trying to do a homebrew campaign and don't know to do the airplane stats. What would you do? Please get back to me. Thank you. I don't know how to make airplane stats because I don't play modern TTRPGs. Generally speaking, I have played Call of Cthulhu a few times at conventions, but I have no idea how to make airplane stats. I am gonna kick that puck down the road, and somebody else can do that for you. Sorry. Hi Luke, big fan, longtime follower. I have a question and a request. I'm running a Pathfinder 2 campaign. It's homebrew, but I use published materials, DM Lair stuff mostly. My players are smart, and I find some of the battles too easy for them. Do you have any tactics to run monsters better? Also, I struggle to find good actions to use in combat. Kind of choice paralysis. Any good advice on action choices for monsters? Okay, cool. Let's get your question. So, what was the first part? Tactics to run monsters better. If the battles are too easy, then you just gotta at least increase the difficulty of the monsters. What I have found that some of the most challenging battles are in Pathfinder 2 are when you have maybe if you're going for, like, let's pretend you're going for a severe encounter, which is the second hardest. So you have extreme, and then one step down is severe. Let's pretend you're going for a severe encounter. If you create a severe difficulty encounter using just 2 monsters, that means each of those monsters is a high enough level that their armor class is going to be pretty high, making them kind of difficult to hit, and their attack bonus is going to be high enough that they're going to crit fairly frequently. So using 2 monsters is going to make lots of crits happen, and they're going to be harder to hit because of their armor class. So that is one thing you can do to make your combats more, and then maybe even give them some low level mooks too, like, you know, like character level -6 or something like that, as like little mooks, you know, that don't present a whole lot of threat really, but they kind of steal action economy. That will definitely make for a challenging encounter. The other thing to remember too is that you can't, if you make just a 1 monster fight, that will be kind of swingy, because they can surround and pound it, and there's just one of them, and the action economy goes against the creature, but they also have a really high armor class and a really high to hit number compared to the characters. So they're going to be critting a whole lot, and the characters are going to have a hard time hitting them. So that can make for a swingy encounter. So I think that's probably some of the stuff I could say just offhand about creating encounters in Pathfinder 2. But I've only been running Pathfinder 2 for about 1.5 years, so I don't consider myself an expert on it. But those are some things. If you always create like encounters that have like the same number of monsters as characters, then those encounters tend to be a bit easier than encounters that have like maybe 2 monsters of a higher level, right? Regardless of whether it's a moderate or a severe or an extreme. That's kind of what I've found in my groups. The second thing you asked is, I also struggle to find good actions to use in combat, kind of choice paralysis. Any good advice on action choices for monsters? No, I hate that crap. My monsters always, this is not the optimal way to do it. I cannot stand all of the like, oh, I'm gonna have the monster intimidate, or I'm gonna have them faint, or I'm gonna have them like, I might have a monster push or shove or trip. I might have them do that, maybe, but probably not. So all that stuff really slows the game down when I'm doing it in addition to my players, and then I have to sit there and think about that crap when I'm running my monsters. And so I just don't like doing it. I ignore that stuff. And this is not optimal. This is not how the game was probably designed to be played, but I don't like using all that crap. What I usually do is I just have my monsters move and then they attack twice. Or if they have a special ability, they'll use their special ability or something. And then many times, if they don't need to move, I attack twice and then I crit fish on the 3rd attack, because you have the multiple attack penalty that goes on. So I know it's not optimal, I know it's not, but that's the way I do it, because I'm not going to sit there and let the combats get even slower, more boggy, you know, by me having to think about other actions for the monsters to do. So that's not like, you're asking a question that's not exactly in my wheelhouse, because I just don't do that crap, because I don't like doing it, because it slows things down and it's not super fun for me. So I just kind of ignore it. So it probably doesn't help a whole lot, but that's what you got. I think Luke loves being grappled and restrained. No, not in 5th edition. I hate that crap. I hate that crap, man. Squeaky, I've been telling... My mom's calling me. Watch this. Oh, it's somebody else. I don't know who that is. I don't answer the phone unless I know who it is. You want to come up here? Why don't you come up here? You keep on bothering me. Squeaky. You want to come up here or not? He's such a butthead. You're such a butthead. All right, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on over here? Yeep. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time where I can give you the sleazy plug for tonight's sponsor. A time traveler's guide to dinosaur hunting. This Kickstarter right here is, well, I backed it because I want this. I want the book that has over 300 dinosaurs in it. And I want this thing too. Right here, the Cyborg T-Rex. So this right here, what is it? You get 2 books, Dinosaur Hunting Bestiary, over 300 dinosaurs in it. And then a Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting. This book right here has 12 adventures in it. It has classes, it has subclasses. You get the Cyborg class, the Shard Mystic, and the Beastkin. And you have playable dinosaur lineages. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds cool. And there's a whole bunch of other crap in here. You have time travel as well. Artwork. This is being run by my friend Daryl, and he is an artist first and foremost. So you can be guaranteed that these 2 books are going to be filled with amazing artwork, and you can see that on the page. Like I'm like 99% sure that Daryl did all this artwork. I would be shocked if he didn't. Why would he pay somebody else to do art for him for his Kickstarter when he is an artist? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm pretty sure he did it all himself. But you can just see, and this page just goes on and on of gorgeous artwork after gorgeous artwork. So this is like the biggest dinosaur book you're gonna find for 5th edition. Like there's nothing like this out there. Like if you want dinosaurs, this is what you want right here. You know, if you're a druid, if you like playing druids, you probably want this book for your animal shape crap, you know, like, oh, I got all the dinosaurs. So there's a link down in the chat in the description where you can go back this sucker right here. Now there are early backer specials. They're probably gonna run out sometime soon. What early backer specials does he have? I'm pretty sure he said there were early backer specials. I don't know which ones they are. I thought there were some. I don't see them offhand. I might be mistaken. But there might also be stuff that, oh, what is this? The first there you go. The first 72 hours, you get a dice bag, an embroidered, it's like at the top of the page. I'm smart. You get an embroidered satin-lined drawstring dice bag that's large enough to hold all your dinosaur hunting dice sets. Okay, cool. So this offer ends tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. It says right here. So you still have time. If you back now, you can still get this thing right here for free. This nice little bag to put your dice and crap in. So there you go. Go take a look at this sucker, back it. Daryl is my friend. You can trust him to fulfill this crap. If he doesn't fulfill it, I will track him down because I want my freaking books. But no, this is not his first rodeo. You can see that he has done 7 Kickstarters before. They've fulfilled. Right now, his most recent Kickstarter, RPG Essentials, which delivers tokens, which I literally have right here because I got the advanced versions of them. It's in the process of fulfillment right now. So you can rest assured you're going to get your crap. He has a proven track record of fulfilling his Kickstarters. He's not screwing around. You'll get some cool crap. You can be confident in backing this Kickstarter. All right. You have to say that because like there are some Kickstarters that it's like, you should probably think twice. This is not one of those Kickstarters. Okay. Ugh. Oh man, I'm gonna go fill my cup up.
Are you a dungeon master? Do you want to be a dungeon master? Do you have blue face paint on your face? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you're just like me. Not only do you enjoy smashing players in the face with your axe every time they metagame, but you're also a busy person, and while prepping for a D&D game, well, sometimes that's hard. And as much as you'd like to force one of your players to run D&D for a change, well, they all suck, so it's pretty much up to you to be the forever dungeon master. And that's exactly why I get out my crayons every month and write a new issue of Lair magazine. Well, I mean, it's not just me, I have a team of people too. We all get out our crayons and write it, yeah. Anyway, every issue of Lair magazine contains 5th edition Dungeon Master resources to help you reduce your prep time while still running amazing games for your lazy, good-for-nothing players. Every issue of Lair magazine contains 2 to 3 adventures complete with maps for online play. You know, we also sprinkle in other stuff like puzzles and traps, which, let's be honest, both suck to have to make yourself. So, I mean, wouldn't you rather just become a DM Lair patron and pay me to write them for you? I mean, you know, my team and I, with our crayons. Now, if you love your wonderful players as much as I do, consider helping me to meet my sales quota by becoming a DM Lair patron today at the link below. You'll get a new issue of Lair magazine every month and other cool stuff like map packs and bonus adventures. Okay, that's it. Please become a DM Lair patron now or I will find you.
Okay, check this out. We have a visitor. My doggy came, says hi. This is Princess Tragedy. Princess Tragedy is her name. She literally has patches on her vest that say Princess Tragedy. Are you being a good doggy today? Don't lick me in the face. Don't lick me in the face. Are you being a good doggy? Huh? You got a bath, didn't you? You got a bath yesterday. She smells really good too. She got herself a nice bath. Yes, you are. She's a happy dog. She's a little monster though. Oh, she's a monster. She tried to attack my mom. She goes crazy, dude. She is like the perfect little monster to have in your house. Because she's happy and friendly and affectionate, and she's potty trained. But if somebody comes in your house that shouldn't be there, she will kill them. Well, I mean, she'll hurt them while I get my gun. So, you good little doggy. Good little doggy. All right. You just gonna hang out with Daddy on the stream? Yeah. She's got this little shirt on. She looks, yeah. Okay, well, let's see. We're doing questions, right? Nixit, what's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Somebody said something about, like, they were talking about this Kickstarter and whether it's compatible with 2024. And I'm pretty sure I know I saw a comment on here where he said that it's going to be first and foremost compatible with 2014, but that it would also work with 2024. So I saw a comment where he said that, because this was a couple days ago. I'm not going to look for that now, but there's probably an FAQ. What RPG system is it based on? Okay. So it says, A Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting is based on the Dungeons & Dragons 5e system. Splattered Ink Games is committed to ensuring that A Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting and all future products will be compatible with 5e and the recently released 5.5 rules update. That's D&D 5e 2024. We are developing all the content within the guidelines set in the Open Gaming License version 1.0a under the terms and conditions set forth in the system document. Yeah. So he has to, like, he has to follow the SRD that we currently have that they put in Creative Commons, because actually he's using the OGL. Okay, so he's using the OGL. So as of right now, Wizards has not put the 2024 SRD or anything else in Creative Commons or release an updated OGL, nothing. So, you know, if somebody's promising that they're gonna make everything completely compatible with it, I would if they say they can make their product compatible with D&D 5e 2024 and the SRD hasn't been released yet, the OGL hasn't been updated yet, I would really think hard about whether they can actually legally do that. Legally do that, because it hasn't been released yet. Now, I suspect they will. I think they're going to follow through on that promise, and they're going to prove good on that because they went through a really bad time with their original OGL scandals. I don't think they're going to do that again. But it would be, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I personally think that it would be a little bit irresponsible, maybe, for somebody to run a Kickstarter and promise you that their stuff would be compatible with the 2024 rules when the legal documents haven't even been provided and released yet. So that's just my hot take on it. I personally would be kind of a little bit leery about that, you know, because it's like the legal documents haven't come out yet. So how can you legally do that? You know what I mean? So that would make me a little bit like, not so sure about that. So the fact that he's doing what he's doing and saying what he's saying actually reaffirms my confidence in his ability to get this done and not run into legal trouble or something, you know? So anyway, but I did see a comment where he said that it's first and foremost 2024, and then it'll also work with 2024. I know I saw a comment from him saying that. All right. Yeah, they say they're going to release it with the monster book, and they probably will. I think they will. But at this point, I will believe it when I see it, even though I'm pretty sure they will. But I mean, you're running a business. It's not responsible to promise something that you're not sure you can fulfill. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It would just be a big risk, you know? She's just gonna sit here. She likes to put her head in my armpit. I think it's because I smell really good. She just likes the smell of my armpit. Hedrick says, do you use that axe from your promo for anything else than cosplaying the barbarian? No, nothing. It's literally right over there. It's next to my desk right there. Next to my sword and my little size and stuff. So yeah, but I don't use it for anything else. I'm just literally just here to murder people if they break into my house. Actually, I'd go for my gun if somebody broke into my house, not my axe. But yeah, it's just over there and does nothing. Well, it is dinosaurs and life finds a way. There you go. I have a fireplace. Yeah, we have a fireplace upstairs, but I don't split my own wood usually. I mean, I have a big pile of wood out back that's been there for a few years. I just go pull from that when we do have a fire. We don't actually have fires very often in our fireplace. It's just, we just don't. I don't know. Scott says, what has it been like working with different collaborators with Lair magazine? What have you learned from the years you have been creating those resources? Generally speaking, it's been great. We have good writers, good cartographers. They do a really good job. Most of them have been people that like we kind of just found from our fan base that submitted stuff that turned out to be good, and then they got better and better, and now they write for us. And we have like, I think we have, well, we recently just hired a couple more people to do some writing, but at one point we had 2, maybe 3 people that were doing almost all the writing, and then we were like, this isn't enough, we need more. Because like I think one of them was like, I got to take a vacation for like a month, and we're like, oh crap, we lost a writer for a month, and then we had to put out a call, and we hired a couple. I think 2 more. I think is what we pulled on. So I think one of the things. So it's been great overall. It's been great. Like I couldn't write this stuff myself. You know, even Zach, who works for me full time, could not. We couldn't write all this stuff ourselves and not do everything else that we do. Oh my gosh, no way. So I think overall it's been a great experience. And what else did you say? What have you learned from your years that you've been creating those resources? there's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to create a monthly magazine. Lots of work every single month. And the other thing I've learned too is that you really want to work way in advance. You want to have stuff getting, well, right now we have, I think most of June and July stuff I think is either written or already commissioned. So we have like, we're about a half a year out almost in getting stuff commissioned, you know, and then it's got to go through your review process and your game design process review, and then editing review, and then it's got to go through layout and stuff, and then it comes to me, and then I have to like do stuff to it and put it on my site and stuff. So you work way ahead of your actual deadlines, way ahead of your actual deadlines. So for instance, by the time it's July, we will have probably the entire year written already, and then it's just going to be moving through our process. So you want to work way ahead of your actual due dates so that you don't have to rush and hurry and be all like frantic and losing your mind because like, oh my gosh, we're not going to have the content ready on time. I literally have like, I have the PDFs for March already done, and they're just sitting on my computer for me to put on Shopify and all that kind of stuff when I need to. And then I sent our layout dude Brian the stuff for April Tuesday, I think. This week I sent him the stuff for April, and so he's beginning to do layout for April, you know, and it's like January. So like you work far in advance, that way you don't have to like, you know, freak out when you're missing your deadline or something. So that's definitely something that I've learned. It's just smart project management that way. You have a process, you have to have a very good process, and you should visualize the process. We use a Kanban board to visualize every single piece of writing as it moves through the process, whether it's ready for commission and it has a due date, or it is with the writer being written, or with the cartographer being created. And then if it's, you know, if it's with our editor, if it's with Zach for game design or something else, or whether it is ready for me, you know, whether it's totally ready for me. So every single column, you know, in our Kanban board just represents a part of that process, and things move along and you keep track of everything. Oh yeah, something you learn too. You have, not only do you have a process, but you have a way to track that process, right? And that's one of our Kanban boards. We have a project management Kanban board. I have my own Kanban board that I track my videos on. I have my own work I have to do, different things I have to do that has a Kanban board, you know. So you get very organized very quickly when you do as much stuff as we do, and you have to manage all this stuff, you know. That's something you learn as well. You get organized and you keep notes about stuff to help you keep track of where everything is, you know. And that's like a written records thing, but it's also a communication thing. So I think there's a lot of stuff to be learned there, you know. And then you get that system in place and everything's kind of working like a well-oiled machine. And then you don't freak out and you don't worry, and you can do a lot of stuff. You can get a lot of stuff done, you know. It's kind of cool to see it all happening, and you're not freaking out every day of all the stuff that's got to get done, you know. Hex crawls versus points of interest crawls. Which do you prefer and why? I don't know. I haven't actually. Have I ever been in a hex crawl or done a hex crawl? I don't think I've officially ever done a hex crawl. And I don't think I've ever done a point of interest crawl. I've never done those things. That's never... I might like them. I don't know if I would like them or not. But I've never done them. I've never run them, and I don't think I've ever played in one. I'm almost never a player. So I've definitely never played in one. But yeah, I've never done that. I've never done that. I mean, I know how to, like, you know, it's not brain surgery. I've just never done it. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't think I have an answer for you. Goliath says our writers, Goliath is Zach. He's my full-time employee. Our writers are currently working on content for August. I have stuff for June and July to do this and next week. Okay, there we go. This is why you have a Kanban board with everything in the process, because you cannot keep track of this stuff off the top of your head. Wow. Greg asks, do you think that for the battle map combat in D&D or Pathfinder type games, using hexes would be cleaner when considering diagonals, area of effect, and such? I think it probably would. So the question is then begged, why don't we use hexes? And why do we use squares? And I think that has to do with the fact that most of your buildings and your structures tend to be built in squares and rectangles. And so when you actually, if you were to actually overlay hexes on your typical map, you're probably going to have a lot of hexes that are cut off and are half hexes, you know, and then you're like, well, what do I do with the half hex? Whereas with your typical structure, like D&D map, squares just work a little bit better. What? You want to come up here too? I got the doggy up here. Poppy, the doggy's up here. I think Poppy wants to come up here, buddy. Poppy, you want to come up here? Yeah? You want to come up here? All right, doggy. It's Poppy's turn. Come here, buddy. Oh, who's a big boy? Who's a big boy? Oh, yeah. Who's a big boy? He's a big boy. Yeah. There he is. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Yeah, his guy's old. He's almost 20 years old. Almost 20 years old. He is adorable. He's a dirty old man, though. Dirty old. Whoa! He doesn't know how to walk. He almost fell. He's old. Oh no! I know it's black. You can. It's like it blends in with like the rest of every. I got a black shirt on and dark gray pants, and so he's like, I don't know. It was like a trick. It was a trick bridge or something. All right. So I think I answered the battle map hex stuff. The creepy kitty shadow behind you. That was Poppy. We call him Poppy. His name is Twitch, but we call him Poppy. He's a big boy. Oh my gosh, there goes the dog. What is it? Go bite him. Go bite him. Give him a good bite. Yeah, he looks great for 20. My 18-year-old cat is horribly matted. Yeah, so my wife, what are you doing over there? Hey, don't get in the litter box. Don't get in the litter box. My wife will comb him. We have like a cat comb hair thingy, and she'll comb him, get him cleaned up a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, he gets matted because I don't know what it is. I think it's just an old cat thing. Like cats just like don't take care of themselves when they get old or something. All right. If I missed your question, please feel free to throw it in the chat, and I will hit it. Also, where is this thing? There we go. Ooh, hold on a second. Also, I want to remind folks, if you haven't already, go check out A Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting. It's live now on Kickstarter. You have until tomorrow morning to back and get this free dice bag thrown in. And when you back this, you're going to get two huge books filled with dinosaur crap. The one book is a bestiary with over 300 dinosaurs in it, prehistoric creatures, cyborg monster things and stuff. And the other one has 12 adventures in it. It has playable classes, subclasses, dinosaur lineages. It has all the cool crap in it. The artwork is spectacular. Daryl, my friend, is running this Kickstarter, and he is an artist first and foremost. So you can see the whole page is filled with gorgeous artwork, which this right here, the Cyborg T-Rex, this is the one I particularly love. This right here is the thing that made me back this, and I was like, I gotta have this thing, and I gotta kill my players with this, and just blow them to pieces with. I'll probably have two of them, and then I'll just annihilate them. So go over here and check it out. They also have a time travel mechanic as well. So go over here. This cat just wants to like rub against my face. So there you go. Go check that bad boy out. Justin says, I'm about to DM 2 total noobs next weekend. What's one thing you would do to get them engaged emotionally? Engaged emotionally? Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like usually try to engage people emotionally. That's not normally like something I'm actually trying to do. I'm not saying that people aren't and that it's not probably a good idea to try to do that. It's just not something I normally try to do. I usually my approach for running my games is to have a variety of different elements in there that are really cool. You're hitting all 3 pillars and you're just doing some cool stuff in there, you know, and you're using some voices when you do your talkie stuff. You just give a broad, balanced, you know, approach to the game, I guess, and different elements that are in there, because some of them are bound to appeal to them and they're really gonna like it, you know. And you don't know if they're new and you're not sure even like maybe what their play styles are because you haven't played with them before. You might not know what is going to really engage them and what they're really gonna like, and so you kind of got to give them a little bit of everything to kind of see what really, you know, gets their gears going. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a super great answer for you. A moral dilemma? That could work. Yeah. Yeah, Pramakas has a good suggestion. Start small and research what they like and are interested in. Yeah, when you start to know what, and that's kind of why I was saying give them a broad view of things, because you really need to know what they are interested in and what they like before you can probably start to pull on their heartstrings and get them engaged more emotionally. Oh yeah. Some people need good NPCs that hits the feels. Others just need to be close to dying in combat. Yeah, I like dying in combat. It's always fun. I'm being serious. I think it's fun when my characters die in combat. I think it's just fun. I don't like making new characters because that's a pain in the butt, but it's always cool. Yeah, Poppy is spelled P-A-P-I. P-A-P-I, Poppy. It's Spanish. Poppy. And where is this thing? Let's see. Here's a question from our spreadsheet. Specifically for world building, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, how do you deal with NPC levels in towns as the party gains power? Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a rough one because what happens in Pathfinder 2 is that it's not like D&D 5th Edition where you have like bounded accuracy and all this kind of stuff, but everything just progresses linearly. And so if the players are like level 12, there are very few NPCs out of the book that can do anything to stop them. They can't compete. You know, everything just scales in a line. So it is rough. My group right now is level 6 or 7, and there are some NPCs that could probably challenge them if there were a group of them, but it would be rough. They'd have to be like an experienced adventuring group, you know, like your standard town guards. They probably couldn't even hit them. And so that's something that is something that probably doesn't always work ideally, you know, because you could have a mob of like town guards, and because of the way the armor class and to hit numbers scale in a linear fashion, and they're not bounded like they are in D&D 5th Edition. In Pathfinder 2, I think you're gonna find that, like, you know, a level 12 group of characters could probably take on, like, you know, an entire mob of villagers just like mechanically and not be challenged. Unless you use mob rules, which is a thing in Pathfinder 2, and I'm not super familiar with them. I haven't actually used them before. So maybe that helps with it. I don't know offhand. But I just agree with you. The NPC levels in towns is a little bit more challenging. I mostly try not to have them even have to fight NPCs in towns and stuff. So my players don't pick fights usually with them. So it's usually a non-issue. But when I do need an NPC that's leveled up and can actually be a challenge for them, I will go to the Game Mastery Guide. And there are a bunch of NPCs in there that are higher levels that can actually be used. No, I mean there is something to be said about D&D's bounded accuracy. Yeah, like when I played D&D 5th edition for like over 10 years. Yeah, over 10 years now. For 10 years, I guess, because that's how long it's been around. Anyway, it's something like that. And now I've played Pathfinder 2 that does not use bounded accuracy and just everything scales linearly. And yeah, there are advantages to bounded accuracy. There absolutely are. There are also advantages to everything going linear. I mean, there's just like, there are advantages and disadvantages to everything. And I think that's definitely one of them. What do I like better? Which one do I like better? Oh gosh. If I had to pick one, what would I pick? I think I like bounded accuracy better. I think I do. And I'll tell you why. As a game master, when you have bounded accuracy, it's easier for me to... She's off to kill someone. Don't worry, it'll be okay. The insurance will pay for it. When I go to pick monsters and stuff in Pathfinder 2, I have to be ultra cognizant of the monster's level. And if the monster is more than 4 levels lower or higher than the players, you really can't use it. It's just kind of unusable. And so you find yourself, there are tons of monsters that you just can't be used. Now I can go on, there are tools online where I can level up the monsters. And that's not that hard. Okay, fair. But it still makes it more challenging to find monsters. Whereas in D&D 5th edition, because of the bounded accuracy and the way the things work and the math works, it's a little bit more forgiving. You probably can't use kobolds against a level 20 party. It's not like that forgiving, but it does make it a little bit easier. So I almost feel like bounded accuracy is probably my preference. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, there you go. I mean, Goliath Cleric summed it up too. I prefer bounded accuracy. You get to use a greater diversity of creatures than with linear, since it's inherently more flexible. Exactly. He said in one sentence what it took me like a couple minutes to express. Thank you. You should just do this. I should just pay you to do this too, and I should just like take more vacations. You're talking yourself into more work, dude. The more you say, the more you work. Oh, Tucker's kobolds. Like, everybody always says Tucker's kobolds, but you show me that actually in practice. I don't want to hear the story. I want to see it done. Show me that. Show it to me. Oh, you talked yourself into it. Yeah, he did. So we have our next Kickstarter where he's got like I got cat hair in my nose or something. What's going on here? Our next Kickstarter is a board game. And Zach and I had a meeting on Monday and we were talking about things. And we were discussing one of the game mechanics. And we had an idea to improve one of the game mechanics and make something way cooler and better. And it would improve gameplay. The only thing is this idea meant taking certain parts of the game back to square one almost. It was a redesign of a core game mechanic. And so then he had to basically redesign that Monday and Tuesday because he was planning on a playtest Wednesday. I don't know. I think that playtest ended up getting rescheduled, but he's like, he had to do that a big redesign, and he talked himself into that. But we were both excited about it. We were both like, yes, that sounds really cool. We should try that. And that's part of designing a board game. You know, you try a bunch of different things and to see what works, and then you play test it, and you're like, you know, and then you have a really cool idea, and you're like, oh man, we gotta try that, and then somebody gets to do all the work of redesigning it. You know. Thaddeus Polite. Hello, Pollet. Is it Pollet? I don't know. I probably screwed it up, but hello. I heard in a video by the Lazy GM guy that someone is making a system called Free 5e, which takes a lot of the open source 5e stuff to make a pretty much free version of 5e that actually has content. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I got it right at the end? Okay, cool. Thaddeus Pollitt. I got it right. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Alex says, Luke, have you used or made any cardstock or paper terrain? No. Do you prefer physical terrain and maps or digital? Oh, I don't actually have like a whole lot of physical terrain that's 3D. When I play in person, it's mostly just a flat map, you know, and I draw on it and stuff. Do I prefer that or digital? I mean, if I'm playing in person, I prefer a physical map. If I'm playing online, I prefer a digital version. I feel like I'm being a jerk when I say it that way, but that's the way it works, I guess. I definitely like playing in person, but playing online is super convenient too. It's super convenient. It takes me like, so when I host my Pathfinder 2 games right here, like I have to, like, I'm not a dirty person, so like my basement usually looks just like this. It's clean and picked up and stuff, but I still have to tidy up a little bit and clean the surfaces. Like I'll use like a disinfectant on the surfaces to get them clean and stuff, because my cats walk over everything. And so before the game session, I'm like cleaning the basement and making sure that the table and everything is all nice and clean, you know, because the cats go in the litter box and then walk on stuff, and that's dirty. So I'm like cleaning all this stuff, you know, and then I got the other room over where their food is. I got to clean it. I spend a couple hours, you know, cleaning and getting the space ready for people to come over, you know, and then I got to get everything set up on the table, all the physical stuff. So it takes me some time just to get stuff set up for game day. Whereas when I play online, I don't gotta do any setup. It's already on the VTT. I just fire things up and it's ready to go. So there's a convenience factor to playing online, that's for sure. I think it's more fun to play in person, but there's a huge convenience factor to playing online. Cannot argue with that. What's the worst game you've played? Mine was Bushido. Badly organized if played remote. Close to history, RDM did. Your character could be outright killed if blundering society-wise. I don't know what Bushido is. I've never played that before. What's the worst game you've played? Oh my gosh, what is going on? My nose. I got like cat hair in my nose or something. I'm going nuts here. I don't know. Just bad game? Oh, there was a board game I played once that I hated. I don't remember the name of it. It was like a Harry Potter board game. That's all I remember. And it has nothing to do with Harry Potter. I don't like the Harry Potter movies, but it had nothing to do with that. It was bad game design. It was a very, very poorly made game, and it was boring and just sucked. It sucked hard core. So I don't know. I would imagine there's a lot of Harry Potter board games that exist, but this one sucked. I wish I knew the name of it so I could give it a proper, like, you know, like find it on Amazon and be like, this is the one. Don't buy this. It is horrible. Bad, very bad game. But I don't. I don't remember the name of it. This cat will sit up here all day and get attention. He doesn't get tired of it. He does not get tired of it. And I got hair or something in my face, my mouth. The piezo flip mats are truly a godsend for GMs. There's a terrain for almost. Yeah, those flip mats are nice. Yeah, I got the ones I have now are from Tom Kartos. He did a Kickstarter. He did lots of Kickstarters that have maps in them, but these big flip out maps. Oh my word! They put the piezo ones to shame. They're so beautiful. Tom Kartos flip out maps. You got to get them. They're just. I use them now in all my Pathfinder 2 games. They sit on, if you watch my games on my DM Lair Plays channel, they're on the shelf behind, on the windowsill. They're on the windowsill behind my table. And like, I use those football mats all the time. They're so beautiful and they're so convenient. You just gotta, before the game session, you gotta find the ones that fit what you're gonna use it for. And then boom, 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 you're good to go. It's beautiful. Do you ever use physical minis on a digital map shown on a TV screen laid down? I've never done that before. I know people do that and they like doing that. And there's an advantage to that because you can have a beautiful map on the TV screen and then you have minis on it. So I understand why they do that because it looks really cool. You know, I've never done it personally though. Can you split up some of the typical roles of the DM, like scheduling and note keeping? I mean, you can. If you want to, I guess you could. I don't know why you couldn't, right? If you wanted to. I don't do that stuff because that's not hard. I mean, there are probably some things that are more challenging or take more time, but I don't know. If it works for you, then do it. That kitty is a known biter. No, this one doesn't. This one doesn't bite. This one does not bite. It's Squeaky. Squeaky's the one that bites everything. What are we talking about? What app are you talking about? Jared, what app are you talking about? I want to know what you're talking about. Gadgetcast says, I finally found a group. I still don't get to DM, but I can be a player that was running through Tomb of Horrors with a 2014-2024 5e rule set. Okay, cool. I was like reading that. I thought that was a question. I was like, that's not a question. That's not a question, which is fine. I don't mind. I was expecting a question and then I was like, wait a second. That's not a question. And then I got confused for a moment. Oh, you think it's a bot? Oh, you think it's a bot? Oh, it probably is. It probably is. Totally. Yeah, it's a bot. They put a bot on the channel to advertise their fitness app. Yeah. Yep. Oh, here's a question. I have a player that wants to play as a fey horse. At first, he wanted to be a centaur, but asked if just being a horse was okay. I said yes. How would you rule using items, interactions, etc.? He can't. In for a penny, in for a pound. If you want to be a horse, you have no hands. You don't have opposable thumbs. You have hooves and feet. You have a big flushy tail. And then you have a head and a mouth and a mane and stuff. That's who you are, baby. And I don't think that a horse's vocal box and stuff can facilitate speaking. It's fantasy. It's a fantasy game, so you probably let them speak, right? Don't be a jerk about it. Don't be a jerk, Luke. If they look, dude, if they want to play a horse, then play a horse. But you don't get to swing an axe. You probably can't open doors unless you're like gonna kick the door open. You know, you can't manipulate equipment. You can't drink potions. Like, that is the reality of wanting to play a horse. This is a role-playing game. Do you want to play the role of a horse? Your dungeon master could allow you to, but you can't really do anything. It's life, man. Figure it out. Well, that's not fair. Well, then don't be a horse. Well, I don't know why. I don't know. That's like Luke's gut reaction. It's like, okay, yeah, you could be a horse, but you can't really, you don't have hands, so you can't manipulate anything, dude. That's just the way it is. What do you want from me? Well, be a sorcerer then and have mage hand. And then you can cast mage hand all the time that manipulates stuff. Oh, okay, well, there you go. You see, you have to have workarounds. Come up with clever workarounds that actually allow you to do stuff like that. And that's fine. And if they do that, that's cool. That's cool. You know, it fits within like the realm and the expectations of a fantasy game. Okay, fine. There you go. You are a talking horse who is a wizard, and you use mage hand to interact with your environment, you know? There you go, baby. There you go. Now, there are limitations on mage hand, of course. But that's just life. You wanted to play a horse. You wanted to play a horse. Oh, is it not a bot? Maybe it's not a bot. Adam, hello, dude. This is crazy. I just started watching your videos to learn about DMing. My question is, I am running a one-shot using the Techomancer's textbook, which I am not familiar with. Have you used this textbook? No. Did you like it? If so, I have not used it. I have no idea. It sounds interesting. Technomancers definitely sounds interesting, but no, I haven't, dude. Sorry. I got nothing for you, man. GadgetCat says that they use Technomancer's textbook. There you go. Verbal component, nay. Oh, Nixit, you got like a luck token right there, man. That's good. Good job. I would give you an awesome point if you were in my Pathfinder 2 campaign. Joe, my player Joe, likes his awesome points. They're meaningless. They're like a pat on the head. It's like, oh, you did a good job. Here, have an awesome point. Joe gets a lot of awesome points. Joe's awesome. He's an awesome player. I love Joe. How much should I prep with a pre-written adventure? I've been, for the most part, reading through the adventure and prepping a couple of things that might come up. Do you have any other advice? I actually have an entire video on my channel about prepping a pre-written adventure. My process for prepping a pre-written adventure is I read through the adventure and I have a bunch of different colored highlighters. I have like lots of different colored highlighters. And what I do is I have color coding for different things that mean different things. And I always print the adventure out. I print the adventure out. Don't use this in a book. Get the PDF, print it out. Or make a photocopy if you have to, I suppose. And then I highlight different stuff. And then I write on it, and I will make check boxes to make sure I hit certain things. And then once I hit that certain thing that's supposed to get hit, I do that. And then a lot of times what I do too is I take a 3.5 by 5 card and I'll write down important names so that I can remember important names without having to flip through pages and stuff. So yeah, I read through, I do highlighting, I write down important stuff before the game session. Monsters, I look up monsters, they're stat blocks, and so I'm familiar with them. And then I envision how I'm gonna roleplay, or not roleplay, but yeah, I guess it is role-playing, how I'm gonna play out those combats and like what the monsters are gonna do, what tactics they're gonna use, what spells they're gonna use. If you have spellcasters, look up the spells, read their spells, know what the spells do, and then pick the spells you're actually gonna use. because a spellcaster is going to last 2 or 3 rounds and then they're dead. So make sure you use good spells. Don't dink around with stupid crap. Nightbot is mad at everybody. What did you say? Gadget Cat, what did you say? Don't post it again because Nightbot will get angry at you. I guess you can't answer that question. I asked you a question that you can't answer. Oh dear. Oh dear. All right. We have a giveaway going on tonight, guys. Go join the giveaway. I have not mentioned the giveaway almost at all tonight. That's my bad. This is your last chance to sign up for the giveaway. We're giving away $50 DM Lair store credit where you can get whole bunches of cool stuff to use in your games. So there's a link in the chat. Click that thing, go into the giveaway. We're gonna draw the winner in just a couple minutes. This is your last chance. This is your last chance to join that sucker. And while you're starting up for that, I'm gonna do one last sleazy plug for our Kickstarter here. This is the sponsor of tonight's live stream, A Time Traveler's Guide to Dinosaur Hunting. You guys can see that this thing is pushing $200,000 raised. There's lots of people that believe in this sucker, and I do too, because this is made by my good friend Daryl. He is an artist, and he has 7 successful Kickstarters already. Actually, this is probably his number 7 right here. And you're gonna get 2 big fat books filled with dinosaur crap. This one right here is gonna have over 300 dinosaurs in it, prehistoric monsters, cyborg dinosaurs, such as this one right here, which is the reason I backed it, because I want this stupid dinosaur, this cyborg T-Rex. And then this book has 12 adventures in it. You're going to get dinosaur lineages. I would like to see what that is. That sounds interesting. New classes as well, and other awesome stuff in this book. I think my dog needs to go outside. So go click the link down in the description or in the chat. Go take a look at this thing. Also, if you back before 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, you're gonna get this dice bag included with your pledge as well. So that is gonna run out quickly. So go back this sucker. I backed it. You can see I've backed this sucker. Now, I don't always back every Kickstarter that sponsors me. I don't. Okay, I tend to only back the things that I think I'm gonna use. And I'm probably gonna use this thing. I say that because I have so many things on my shelf that I'm like, I'm gonna use that, and then I don't. But I'm probably gonna use this one, but I'm also backing it because it's my friend Daryl, and he creates some awesome crap, and the artwork is just stinking amazing. So I gotta back it. You gotta back it. Anyway, go check it out. It's really cool. Also, giveaway. Let's draw the winners of the giveaway. Whee! The giveaway that I forgot to talk about the whole stream. It's like, what's the good of the giveaway, Luke, if you don't tell people about it? I'm not good at my job. Here we go. All right, the winner is Aaron from Dublin, Ireland. Aaron from Dublin, Ireland. You have won, Aaron. I will be sending you an email probably tomorrow at some point, and we'll get you hooked up with some cool crap from the DM Lair store that you can use in your games. I don't know if I picked you, Copper, but I did my best. The dice picked you. The giveaway client that I use randomly picked a person. That's the way it works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'm super hungry. I need to go to bed so I can get up tomorrow morning and eat food. So thank you for hanging out. It's been fun. If I missed your question, remember there is a link down in the description, and it will be in the pinned comment as well, where you can leave your question in a form, and then I will get to that in the next live stream. So if I missed it, I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. I'm a meanie. Leave it in the form, and then you're good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful evening. I'm done. Pew, 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 pew.